Paul, there's no shying away from the current run of results. It's not great. We all know that. Everyone's talking about it. Is the danger that you change because of the results, whereas believing in what you can do as a manager and what the team can do, is that the danger that you change things?
I suppose it depends what you constitute as a change. A change of a tactic here or there, there's no problem with that. A few set piece routines, a few things you do in training, there's no problem with changing, because to freshen things up, to have a few new ideas, we need that. To change how we treat each other, to change the tone in the corridors in the dressing room, how we evaluate performance, no, we're not doing that. The players are trying really hard. I love them for it. Every week they come in and do the same things. They train in the same way. They give everything. They're not. There's no dissent. There's no lack of commitment. I don't like to change. Am I going to change with them because we've lost 5 games? No, there's points we have to make. We're professional. We've got a professional concern about where we are, and it's irrelevant really about circumstances and availability, because it is what it is, and no one really cares apart from us. We care, so we've got to get on with it. And so, to answer your question, it's been a long way of saying it. No, we're not changing. I'm not changing how I treat the players. I'm always demanding of them. I always push them, but I'm not going to treat them any differently as chaps and part of a squad, because they're given everything. They get on great. I love them, and the way we're gonna turn things around is by just continuing those things and finding a way, and navigating through all the conundrums we have.
But belief is a word that's used a lot in football, isn't it? And I've been doing this long enough to know that there's a vibe around a place when there's a lack of belief, when things are going wrong, and there is a lack of belief in the project. I can't stand that expression, but I'll use it anyway because I can't think of a better one. That doesn't seem to be an issue here. From speaking to you, from the contact that I've had with the players, both pre-match and post-match, disappointment, frustration, yes. Lack of belief, no.
Again, it's how you quantify belief, or what you choose to align belief to. Belief in the squad, who we are, trusting each other. I'd be surprised if that's faulted in any way. Belief in a couple of the things we've been doing on the pitch and that haven't been working, then we should question those things. There's no point blindly going on and doing things we've done that haven't worked, whatever the reason. So yeah, we have to decide which things we believe in. It's not just blind belief of something that actually can't change, but the fundamentals, how we treat each other and how hard we try, and they can't change. Then it's down to me to find a way of solving some of the issues we've got, and let's be honest, it's quite a few of the issues I believe, and let's talk about belief again, I believe are reasonably temporary. There's a transitory period here of availability and systems and patterns and all sorts of things that we can get too deep in. We have to believe in working hard together, and we've got some good footballers who are good enough should the circumstances arise, and we've got to make, that's my job, I've got to find, by hook or by crook, I've got to find those circumstances to fit the players.
Just one more on this before we talk about, obviously, any players maybe coming back from injury or the very latest, and of course the Coventry game. Is the fans will clearly see five defeats. They'll be worried, they'll be concerned, and they'll be frustrated with the way things are at the moment. I suppose that's part and parcel of what you have to deal with. But it would be your message be to them what you're just saying to me, we believe we can turn this around, we know what we're doing.
I don't think it's such an emphatic statement either. I mean, I watched us play Bristol Rovers last week. I watched the supporters. I listened to them. I saw them at the end clap the players. They're frustrated, you can see it, but they're clapping the players, and they're not foolish. I mean, we all get the worst moment of any week is 5-5 on a Saturday when you've just lost. We all have an opinion. It's raw. But when it comes to the support and how it's a very subjective thing, of course. Assessing your team and I'd do this and I wouldn't have taken him off.
Yeah.
I get all that. There's only one person who can make that decision. It's me. That's the way it is. But they're not foolish as well. They know when we've played well. They know when we haven't. They know there are circumstances for it, and they know that it can turn very quickly as well. They're a sensible bunch. I've been here now 15 months, and I think they've been very considered. And I think they'll know that the players are trying really hard. We've got some good players there. I don't think I need to issue any pleas or statements. I think they understand it. They're frustrated. They're desperate for us to do well. They get very disappointed and cross and frustrated when we don't manage to do something, as I do. So hopefully this is a temporary thing. We have to find a way through the next month or two. There's no hiding from that. We have to find a way through, and we'll all do it. Be it me, be it the coaches, be it the players, be it the supporters. We'll all find a way.
Ben Reeves came on and had a real impact in the game against Bristol Rovers, as did the other players that came on as well. Has he come through that okay? Has he reacted well to that? That was always the concern, but he's okay.
He's okay. He made a big impact when he came on. The temptation is for me to jump in too soon, too quick, and bear in mind he's been back in full training 2 weeks. So if this was pre-season, would I take a risk on a player playing 90 minutes after 2 weeks training? Probably not. But the sooner he plays on our team, the better, from what I can see so far, because we need the balance in our side. We've not got a balance at the moment. He's the first player looking like he'll be back and ready to provide that balance. So,
and he'll want to, won't he? He'll just want to start.
He'll want to. I think supporters want him to. I want him to. The team wants him to. But then I've still got to be the bad guy, make a decision when I think it's right and wrong. And it might be that I decide someone starts or comes onto the pitch, and we've got 3 games: Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday.
Yeah,
got to think about all those things. So when we talk about player being injured, then being fit, there's also an interim of they're fit, but they're not necessarily fit to suddenly play 2 games in 4 days, and I've got to be careful.
And Brennan as well, who played a role that you wouldn't probably have brought him to the club to play.
Yeah, well, that again, we've got to find a way.
Yeah.
And
can he do that? I mean, is that something you're now looking at? Yeah.
You saw it. Yeah, you saw it. I saw it. Yes, he can. Yeah. And he did.
Yeah.
And he's done it before when he was younger, and he can do it.
And most footballers will say, "I'll play. Just play me. Play me."
Yeah, I know. And it's amazing how these moments, drag up or create pluses and positives for players in different ways. This could be one for Brennan, but every game's going to be different. It's about also not, if I'm doing something slightly different like we did with Brennan, it's about making sure we don't lose his confidence by doing something too clever. We got to. It's all degrees of being bold or being bold, not bald. Being bold, and
I do that very well.
Degrees of being bold, and and making sure you're also considered with it.
How's Kieran? Is he getting any closer?
Yeah, he's been on the training ground today actually.
Great.
So again, he's a week stronger than he was last week, and there's no reason why he shouldn't, with another day's training, be in a position to be available Saturday.
Is Alex better? Is he feeling better now?
Alex is better. He's trained.
That's a boost already, isn't it?
So all these things you've got. You've got. We're a week ahead of where we were last week. We still need a result. We know that.
Yeah.
And it might have to be a draw before we get a win. It might. But like I said before, I can't promise those things. I can promise that we will have the same. We'll have the same spirit and desire to do well together as a group that we did 4 weeks ago.
And just finally on the opposition, watched a lot of games here under you and obviously under other managers, and the Coventry fans come here and make a lot of noise. They come in big numbers and make a lot of noise. They create a big atmosphere.
Yeah.
So more than any other time, 5 defeats in the spin, the fans need to do their bit. I suppose that's your message, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we do our bit.
Yeah.
Fans do their bit. It helps us do our bit. It helps the fans do their bit.
Yeah.
We go together, don't we? We have to. From what we've seen so far, the teams that we've come up against, we looked at Peterborough before we played them and thought they were a heck of a counter-attacking team. we're looking at Coventry and thinking they're a really good team with the ball in possession. So it's a big challenge for us.
In times like this, when you've got an injury crisis, do you have players come to you and say, I could potentially play in this different role, or is it just a case of
sometimes?
You doing your results?
And actually, you, as a manager, you hope they do it in training. They do it with the way they act, with the way they conduct themselves. And as a manager, it's a funny way of putting it, but everyone says about motivating the players, but the players have to motivate the manager too. And the manager is often looking for something he wants to see some sort of energy by which to focus on. And the players can provide that. It shouldn't just be down to the players to sit in a room and wait for the manager to tell them what to do and then be motivated with some big speech every day. It's not like that. We all need to do it together, and the players need to motivate me to say, well, do you know, there's something brewing here. We can work on this tomorrow. I can do that again because that makes us feel better, and that's given us some kind of purpose. So the players do their bit to me as well. I've asked them to do that over the last fortnight. Who's motivating the manager? We do it together. And so to answer your question, it's not just knocking on the door, old-fashioned, come and, I can do this. I need to see it in training. I need to see it. I need to see how they react to disappointments, how they react at the end of the game, how they react to Monday morning, how they train. It all goes into the pot.